What's up? I'm back. Okay. So, of course, I've come out of retirement. I'm just kidding. I didn't retire. I've come out of my hiatus, out of hibernation for quite an actually serious topic. Okay? And it's Roblox fucking silencing schlep. The Roblox versus schlep dilemma is absolutely insane to me, right? Of course, I understand as a corporation, you need to protect your bottom line, okay? But wouldn't it be better for your bottom line if you address this situation properly, right? You know, and punish the people who actually need to be punished. Personally, I would invest in a company that did it like that. Because then I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, my money is in a good place because they're not gonna, tank their stock by doing dumb shit. But no, they tank to their stock by doing dumb shit. Okay? Yeah. So Roblox thought it was a fucking swell idea to not only, silence schlep, okay? Silence schlepped. They completely silenced him, okay? Not only that, but they also had the balls to go out there and say, schlep, catching predators is worse than being a predator. That's insane. That's insanity. That is hyperbole of the highest order because it doesn't make any fucking sense. How is catching predators bad? It's not. I don't understand how catching predators is still fucking controversial to people. It makes no sense to me. Actually, you were just ruining that guy's life. Good. Good. He deserves to have his life ruined. Good. He's a danger to society. These fucking they're predators and they're a danger to society. That's the truth of the matter. Okay, the truth of the matter is that they're dangers to society. And when you're a danger to society, and you get caught for being a danger to society, that's good. Okay, I hate the people who go in their YouTube comment section. Well, actually, this is not going to have any legal ramifications. Okay, even if he doesn't go to jail, he's not going to get fucking hired anymore. Like, what do you hear about EDP having a job since, he got caught? Exactly, because everybody knows that happened. He's not getting hired anymore because nobody's going to hire a predator, right? If you get their face and name out there, that's good enough already. You did your job, okay? And it's the police and the justice system job to put them, in prison where they belong, okay? But that's most likely not the case. And Schlep has arrests, okay? They're trying to say, oh, you're not going through the proper channels, you're entrapping them. No, he's not. He's not. That's not at all what he's doing, right? I mean, sure, that's not at all what he's doing. He is taking people who don't deserve to be on a platform with minors off that platform. Obviously, if you're the corporation, you're like, wait, hold on. This doesn't look very good for us, right? But how about this? What if we band together, okay, and we do a better job moderating shit? But no, they're not going to do that because that's a lot of resources and money they have to spend to make that happen, right? But they're not going to do that because, yeah, they're just not. Okay? And they make it apparent that their bottom line is more important than the safety of their users. They make that very apparent. Okay? And anybody who's like, oh, is it a question? It's not a question. It's a reality and it's a fact. It's a statement. Okay? It's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Okay? The crux of the situation is that, you. The crux of the situation is that Roblox is fucked, and they're so greedy that they're more concerned about their bottom line than actually the safety of their users. Okay? That is insanity. They don't give a fuck about their platform if that's the case. And they don't. Right? They don't. The fact that Schlep sends binders of evidence to them, about, so and so predator, this is his account, go ban him, and they don't. That tells you all you have to know, and they don't. They don't care. They do not care about their platform like at all. They don't care. Okay? Okay. They don't. So, yeah. Moral of the story. Like I say all the time, okay? Don't be a predator. If you are a leader of a corporation, care about your user safeties. User safeties? User safety. Okay? Care about user safety. Because if not, then you'll have a PR disaster like fucking Roblox is having right now. Of course, Roblox has had this problem for years, right? But they don't really care, right? It wasn't. They're trying to say you could excuse it before and say, oh, there's hundreds of millions of accounts on Roblox. It's really hard to moderate. You know, you can kind of make excuses for them, but not anymore. Not anymore. When they come out and ban a fucking creator for doing their job better than they do, right? And they come out and they double down on it and say, yeah, we stand by what we did. What we did was right. No, it's not. It's not. Okay? Anybody with a brain knows it's not right. Okay? And Roblox, if you're watching this, come send me a fucking cease and desist. Okay? I have freedom of speech. I can say and do whatever I want, so fuck you. Okay? Come send me a cease and desist and you'll see what happens. Yep, fuck you. Okay? Free schlep. Okay? Bro didn't do anything. And even I hate the police officers who get like fucking aggravated at like Gideon, Oma, all these people who do it in real life, and they're like, they just don't fucking do anything about it. Like, bro, what are you doing? That is even more egregious than doing it online, I think. Of course, they're both heinous, okay, but to do it in person is like 4 times worse. Of course, but then again, we also have to make this distinction that in fact, schlep caught predators that wanted to meet in person. They are truly dangerous to society, and they're actual predators. Okay, not to say that if you're like groomed online, you're still weird for that. You're still fucking atrocious. You're not a full human being. Okay, I personally have never done anything like that because I'm not a disgusting human being. Okay, but yeah. Moral of the story: don't be a predator. Okay, don't be a danger to society. Live your life like a normal person. Okay, find a nice girl, your own age, that's legal. Okay, have a nice relationship. Go do something. Go touch grass. Okay, don't be too radical about shit, and just live your life. Be happy. Okay, all right. Moral of the story. Okay. Moral of the story is don't be greedy as shit. Okay. That's going to be it for this episode of degen News. Okay. Your PSA is don't waste water. Okay? Don't waste water. Don't waste water. Don't waste food. Okay? And if you're ever down and out, just be thankful that you live in the United States. If you do live in the United States, that is. Okay, but just be thankful you live in a first world country. Thank God. Okay? Because it could be worse. Alright? And if you're a parent out there and your kid, is just being a little hooligan, okay, just say thank God. They're actually a really nice kid, unless they're not. Unless they're really unpleasant, then they're, that's, you gotta address that, right? But if they're like a good kid in general and they just fuck up once, you're like, thank God I have a good kid. And it could be much worse, okay? They could be a CEO at Roblox that's silent and censor people. And that's the thing too. They're censoring their own community, which is gay. Okay. Really, you can't censor anybody. People have freedom of speech. They can say and do whatever they want. Okay. Right, but yeah. Have fun. Be safe. Be happy. Wear your seatbelt. Wear a condom. See you later.